They say nice guys finish last, right? Well, the best back in the best shape of my life. Like the checks cash and now they paying the price right. In showdowns I showcase my skills. Throw weight around, my weight in pounds tipping the scale. Shit, we taking this whole year. Catch up.
You know, just getting ready, big Duluth, Minnesota Mayhem tomorrow. This will be my 10th show that I'll be competing in. And so just sort of getting my mind in place to be ready for tomorrow. Hoping to, well, I know I'm bringing the best package that I brought thus far out of 10 shows that I will be in after tomorrow. And the nerves haven't set in yet. I'm just excited to get going, see what I can do, and really just put it all out on stage. Again, it's going to be a good event. I think it's going to be real exciting and see what I can do.
So tomorrow is the Mayhem show here in Duluth, Minnesota. It's going to be my 4th bodybuilding show this year. My goal is to bring a better me to each of the shows, so I'm hoping I'm bringing the best I have yet so far this year. Ultimately, I'd also like to win my class and an overall, but seriously and truly, it's always about making a better me. I'm nervous. I know there's going to be a lot of good competitors up on stage with me. A lot of them I am motivated and they motivate me as well, so I know we're going to be out there working our butts off, trying to put our best foot forward and really show off what we've worked for this year. I'm very excited. I'm somewhat nervous as well, but the excitement overweighs the nervousness for sure.
Kaelin Patterson, Midwest Muscle, P for P Real Talk in the house in Duluth, Minnesota, and we are at the Minnesota Mayhem, and I'm here with Christopher. Christopher, this is a great show, big packed house. I'm surprised at the number of people. I'm surprised at the conditioning people have been in, and you've got quite a story that you'd like to share, and we've got some great souvenirs, we'll call it, that you've actually addressed, showing that, you know, the hard work did pay off. But you've got quite a story, and it goes back a ways, and you dealt with a lot of issues in your past, and obviously you've overcome a great deal of them. How big were you when you started this journey?
The number I claim is 230 pounds. People have seen pictures, and they're like, you're over 230 pounds in those pictures. But that's the number I claim. That's the number I know that was on the scale. I started out at 230 pounds. And I decided I was taking a 22-day trip to Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji, and was not going to do it at 230 pounds. I wanted to be able to do the beach without a t-shirt and not be self-conscious about it, because I was big. You know, I'm only 5'8". 230 pounds is a big boy. And I've always been a husky boy as a kid, so there's not been a real time, except maybe just in my senior year, I call myself lean, the lightest weight. But since then, I had put on weight, blew up to 230 plus pounds, and started working out to take that vacation. That was my inspiration to get started anyway. And when I came back, luckily I had a personal trainer, Jessica. She had sort of laid that seed of doing bodybuilding and asked if I'd consider doing a show. She was spectacular and recognized if I didn't have a goal when I came back, that he's gonna blow right back up. Sure enough, 2 weeks, came back from a spectacular trip, hit the gym right away. 2 weeks into it, I'm on an elliptical going, why the hell am I here? I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I'm done. And I walked up to her, I said, we need to talk.
But let's go back a little bit further to what, you know, basically had the weight gain and all the things that were basically a problem in your life.
Sure, you know, and that's a subject that lives with me every day. You know, growing up, it wasn't the easiest thing to deal with. I was bullied. And when you hear the story all the day, you hear people of kids that take their lives because of bullying. People don't realize how serious this is as an issue. I was stabbed in junior high in the back by a fellow student, walking, minding my own damn business. And just because I looked different, I came from a poor family, I didn't have the genes that everybody else wore, he just figured, well, I'm taking advantage of the situation, and we don't like him, and stabbed me in the back. Literally. And it's like, what did I do to deserve this? Wow. I've been called some vile names. People make assumptions of sexuality because I grew up around very strong women who I love and have supported me in my life. I have some of those mannerisms. I accept that today. I am who I am, and if people don't like that, that's too bad. Yeah. I've accepted who I am. This is who I am. I'm willing to help anybody out, do something for them. What's wrong with that? Yeah. To mask that, I ate. Yeah. I come from an Italian family. We eat. Exactly. You mask your your feelings with food. Yes. Not a lot of people know this story because it's a hard one to tell. It hurts still to this day.
I'm glad you talked about that because there's a lot of things that people miss when you talk about the bullying because they say, if someone had just done this different and this, instead of emphasizing the point of why is it done in the first place, they always put it on for the person that's dealing with it. I said, you have to deal with even more now because they're saying of this. So how did you deal with that and overcome that to even get to this stage?
I think part of it is focusing on I'm going to be a successful person in life, and the people I've been with, they're like, we know it's not true, you just have to move forward with it. Accept who you are. I'm done with the haters. You know that's term. And I got a pro card now today to prove it,
Well, let's talk about that.
I have 5 years. I've been competing since I lost the weight. This is my 10th show, my 45th birthday.
Yes, happy
so
birthday.
It's like, it is all the stars have aligned to say, it is your day to show everybody what you have fucking done. Here it is. I've got a first place men's bodybuilding medium weight in the open. This is the first time I've ever competed in open. And I have a pro card now to show because of that first place. Nice. I've been cutting since March, but the results are here today. I also have a second place in men's bodybuilding masters 40 plus. I've been competing in that group because I consider it the old man's group. I've been competing that since the beginning, the past 5 years, and I have slowly started from last place to a second place. I did take a first place in another show last year at the 40 plus. When I started the weight loss, I said, I'm not dieting. I don't believe in that term diet. It was a lifestyle change. When I started it, I had gone into the hospital. My blood pressure was 210 over 100 and something. Immediate high blood pressure meds that day. And I said, I am not a pill popper.
No doubt.
And that's when the weight loss started happening because I had to take the weight off to drop the blood pressure. Within 6 months, I was off blood pressure meds, losing the weight, and I had signed up for the vacation and all of that, so it was time. The medical costs are going to outweigh what I'm paying right now. Now, granted, groceries, I spend a lot of money on chicken. But thank goodness I love chicken. But it's one of those things. I would rather eat chicken than pills. You see a better benefit to it. You can enjoy it. You can have 6 ounces of chicken versus one little tablet. I like the lifestyle change. My goal is to continue on this as far as I can go. I want to compete as a pro now. It changes the whole picture for me competing. I have to change what I was thinking of doing next year. Because I was planning on doing this show. Well, maybe I do it as a pro. It's a whole different, maybe I do a different show. So need to sit down, have those conversations. But when I'm done doing bodybuilding and when I can't do it anymore, I want to take other people. I've enjoyed this ride. And like I said, Jessica's introduced me to this sport, and I love it, and I want to continue in it and show other people why I love it. And the best way is to walk them through the journey.
Please speak about the support group that you have. You said Jessica. Start with her.
Jessica is my very first trainer who I approached when I was doing the vacation. Walked in the gym, and honest, I was a little leery of a woman training a man. And she proved me wrong within a month. I truly credit her for saving my life. I love her to death. She'll always be there. She'll be the one that I credit for getting me started. My fit family is just as important as my regular family. That's how I look at it. And I will bend over backwards. I'll cross hell and high water for them. I hope people see this and they see that I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm here for you. You come to me, I'm not going to blow smoke at you. We're going to get you where you want to be if you're willing to listen and do the work. I can't want it more than you, though. If you don't want it, I'm not going to want it for you either.
So many people see you now, and they, in their mind, they don't really, that mind's eye doesn't show where you started.
Yeah.
So walk them through there and then get them to now so they can really digest mentally what you're saying.
You really have to have the pictures. You tell them the story. You really have to sit down and explain it to them. You sympathize with, you cry with them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you might get a little too wrapped up with them, and you get burned.
Yeah.
You're going to get burned by some. It happens. Yeah. I'm not willing to let that stop me. If they want it, I'm here to help them to get there. And the only way is to show them that, hey, here's the truth. I was in your boat.
You really sit that tone.
Yep.
They get it.
Yes. Yes. And most people do. And then some people, they don't. They go away, but they come back. And I think part of it, too, is you build that support system. I'm known for having the loudest support system at these shows. Love them to death. They're all in the audience tonight, rooting me on. I appreciate all of them. I can't give the name. I'm sorry to everybody. I'm going to miss you all. Yeah. But I thank them all for everything that they do, for showing up to the shows, the support. They've seen the struggle. They live. They've heard it. They get it. They know. It's not the end of me. There's a Cher song. You haven't seen the last of me.
And I would like to say that especially for people that are being bullied, especially people that are being stressed and abused, mentally and physically, is that there is an alternative. And it doesn't have to be ending your life. It could be finding one.
Even in today, there's bullies as adults.
Yes.
I've been at gyms where you have bullies. The same things that happened in junior high, those same things came. They didn't mature. They didn't come out of that high school mentality. Because a lot of them, I know them from high school.
Yeah.
They haven't changed. They're just bigger. They're older, but they're the same people they were back. They're not smarter. I continued on with mine, and here I am today. So, boom.
Congratulations.
Thank you much.
Great job.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you on stage again.
All right, thank you.
Kaelin Patterson, Midwest Muscle, P for P Real Talk in the house in Duluth, Minnesota. And we're at the Minnesota Mayhem, and I'm here with Jack Halverson. Jack, first off, introduce yourself.
Thanks, Kaelin. Jack Halverson. I'm 57 years old. I started bodybuilding about 2 years ago. I'm from Peoria, Illinois, and I'm just loving this profession, and I can't see myself doing anything other than doing bodybuilding, and it's given me a really healthy outlook for life.
What motivated you to do it? And basically, was it for the health concern, or was it actually just something you said, this is something I want to get into?
Well, bodybuilding actually has been something that's always piqued my interest ever since I was a really young child and watching Arnold and all the old school iron guys. As a normal farm kid, I grew up, went to college, got a job, and family was the first thing on my mind at that time. And then health issues came along because I really wasn't focused on my health. And that's what really turned me then to getting in shape, and then kind of sparked my interest then to get back and look at the bodybuilding and see what I can do with it.
Now, when you're talking about the health concerns, there's a lot of things that are, people say, well, I don't have time for this and I don't have time for that. And basically, you do have time to be unhealthy because of never having time for the good thing. So what were the things that basically, made you say, there's a better choice for me and I can do better?
First of all, I got diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, actually type 2, type 1 diabetic, and that right there was kind of the beginning issues that I had. And then a couple years later, I had a heart attack, and that was the total wake-up call. And I said, yeah, I really got to get my lifestyle changed around. So that's when I really got into the lifting weights a lot more seriously at my gym. And then a couple people at the gym noticed that, hey, you look like you got some potential. Why don't you get into bodybuilding? And there was a show a couple months later that they said you ought to consider trying for, and that's when I met my coach Leif Anderson, and he took me under his wing, and from there it's been just a great adventure. And yeah, it totally changed my life. I realized I had to get healthy and turn it around. I couldn't, there's really no choice.
But now, you didn't start this way, so let's start from back there and introduce how much you weighed then to what you are now.
So when I first started out, just being diabetic. I was at 260 pounds.
Wow.
Drinking like a 6-pack of Mountain Dew a day, that type of bad habit stuff.
Running sugar.
Yeah, running sugar through my veins. And so when the doctor gave me the wake-up call on the diabetes, so I started changing my lifestyle a little bit. I cut out the sugars, and of course, I had to really change my diet completely because I was controlling my diabetes through my food and diet alone. I wasn't doing any insulin or anything. And that really helped. I lost a ton of weight there, probably got myself back down around the 200 range from being up around the 260. So, and that was the initial start, but then I had the heart attack, which was the second wake-up call, and said, well, I just got to keep going and further improve, refine my diet, eat very clean, especially in competition season. Not saying I won't have an occasional piece of pie or cake, but it's really controlled, and the rest of the time it's real clean and real spot-on diet.
There's people that say, well, you know, he was kind of forced into it because of making health choices, but you made the choice, and that's the big thing. But the other thing that, you know, there's people that you'd like to motivate not to have to make those choices.
Very true. I mean, once I started and saw what I could do with being the age I was and being able to get into the shape I was a firm believer. If you really want this, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can do it. It's the old mind over matter. If you believe it, you can achieve it mentality. And I've seen other people do it, and I've seen myself do it. So I like to be that role model for other folks my age or younger that maybe are interested in getting healthy. I like being that role model and showing them, yes, you can do it.
Not only have you stepped up to be a better healthy individual, but you've also started doing a lot more clean hobbies that actually help you keep in what you're doing.
Yeah, I've always been kind of into like photography and stuff like that. I did a lot of landscape and nature photography, and now I've kind of switched that over into the bodybuilding and athletic side of the business. And I love taking pictures of people doing gym pictures and that, because it really is motivation for them to see the results. You know, they can take that picture and take it home, they can put it on the wall, look at it every day when they get up and say, yeah, that's worth doing it. You know, it's really exciting to see that.
It's a lot of people that are really taking an interest in what you're doing. So what do you have to say to the people that are wanting to make the change but just aren't having that need that extra push, I guess the best way to say it?
Well, I'm not going to say it's easy, because you really got to put your mind to it. But if you put your mind to it, surround yourself with positive people like yourself, me, and I'm telling you that the reinforcement, the support you get from them will be phenomenal. Since I've been in this business or this profession, everybody that I've run into has been very supportive. They reach out to you, willing to give you help and guidance wherever you need it. You still want to get professional help with coaches and stuff like that, depending if you really want to get really serious. But the Fit Fam is fantastic people to surround yourself with.
Yes, it is. Well, Jack, thanks so much. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to for the support you get?
I give a shout out to my wife. She's a huge support for my lifestyle. Support to P4P, which is my sponsor, and Leif Anderson, my coach. Team Classic Physique is the team I compete for. Thanks to all my fit family, and I'm enjoying this, and I can't wait to do more with more people.
I just want to know, I know you competed today, but I don't think you're so humble. You never really discussed, you know, what you actually did and how you placed.
Well, I competed in the bodybuilding open division and also the Masters 50 plus. In my 50 plus division, I took first place, which put me into the overall. I didn't get first there, but the guy I went up against was a phenomenal athlete and well-deserved first place for him, and I wish him the best. And I didn't place at all in the men's overall, but again, it was a huge lineup, a lot of great athletes there, and I'm just thrilled to death to be able to compete at my age and do as well as I did.
First place is not unfamiliar with you. You've won first place before. So now your goal is actually higher than just first place. You want that overall.
Yeah, I do want the overall. It gets me the pro card to where I can actually get on stage now with the really big guns. And to me, that'd be that's my life goal. It's a phenomenal feeling, so like I say, if you're even slightly interested, go for it, because you'll look back and glad you did it. It is. I mean, you wake up every morning, you feel better, you look in the mirror and you say, this was worth it.
Yeah.
This is worth it.
And it's always worth it, because you're doing something, it's a positive way of going about life, it's a positive way of looking at life, and it's a positive way of doing it. And you're doing it all in a successful way, because you're not basically damaging your health to do so. So, great job again, and wonderful on the winning, because, it's not easy, because this was a stacked deck.
Yes, that's very true. I really can't. There's really not much I can add. It's just an exciting feeling. I love it, and just going to keep going, see where I can take it.
And it's actually going quite well with you. And these are some nice trophies at this show.
Yeah, it's a very nice trophy. The venue is an excellent venue. They treat the athletes top notch here. They give out swag bags for all the athletes. Top-rated sponsors of the industry. All clean for all natural athletes. You don't have to worry about anything being in there. You're not going to ruin your test, so really top notch.
Seems like every time I see you getting handed a first place trophy, so it's obvious that this wasn't, basically lightning in a bottle. You've basically been maintaining it for quite some time.
Yeah, like I say, it's going on 2 years, and I really see myself. I'm pretty sure I haven't hit my peak yet, so I'm going to keep going.
Well, speaking of hitting the peak, what's in the future?
So next I got a NGA show coming up down in my backyard from Peoria, Illinois. So that's on October 29th, which is actually my birthday. I will turn 58 that day.
Okay.
So it'll be hopefully it'll be a double.
A good birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Excellent job. So I'll let you get back with the family and get back to celebrating, and don't eat too much pizza, because that's a great physique.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kaelin.
This guy.